Have you ever had that gut-wrenching feeling that something just doesn't add up? Like everything on the surface seems fine, but deep down, there's this nagging thought that something is off. Maybe she's more distant, less affectionate, or suddenly has a lot of me-time activities she never mentioned before. It's almost as if she's pulling away, and you're left questioning every little detail, every small change in her behavior. Now, before we dive into this topic, let me be clear. This video is not about making you paranoid. It's not about making you suspicious of every move she makes. It's about awareness. It's about understanding certain behaviors that might indicate she's not being completely honest with you. And if you're worried she might be cheating, it's crucial to approach the situation with clarity and confidence, not fear or anger. So, stay with me until the end, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the subtle signs that could reveal if she's being unfaithful, and more importantly, how you can use this knowledge to grow as a person. By the end, you'll not only have a better understanding of what might be happening, but you'll also learn how to navigate these situations with maturity, respect, and most importantly, self-respect. This isn't just about her actions. It's about your growth, your self-awareness, and your ability to handle difficult situations like a true man of value. All right, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about her routine. Has she suddenly made changes to her schedule that don't quite make sense? Maybe she's working late more often, or she's suddenly taken up a new hobby that requires a lot of her time and attention. While having personal interests and time apart is healthy for any relationship, if these changes come out of nowhere and she's defensive or vague when you ask about them, it could be a sign that something's not quite right. Maybe she used to be home by 6 every evening, and now she's coming home at 8 or 9 with no clear explanation other than, "I had things to do." Pay attention to these inconsistencies, but don't confront her aggressively. Instead, express your concern and see how she responds. Next, let's talk about emotional distance. Have you noticed that she's not as engaged in your conversations as she used to be? Maybe she's not laughing at your jokes like she used to, or she seems distracted even when you're spending time together. Emotional withdrawal can be a huge indicator that something is troubling her, and it might not always mean she's cheating. It could be stress from work, personal issues, or something else entirely. But if you've tried to reach out to her and she's not willing to open up, it's definitely something to be aware of. Now, one of the biggest red flags in this day and age is her behavior with her phone. We all value our privacy, and that's fine, but if she's suddenly more secretive than usual, that's worth noting. Has she changed her password recently and didn't tell you, even though she used to share it with you before? Does she keep her phone on silent or face down whenever she's around you? Or maybe she's stepping out to take calls more frequently, claiming it's just work stuff. Look, I'm not saying you should snoop through her phone. That's a breach of trust. But if she's going out of her way to hide things, it's not unreasonable to wonder why. And here's another thing to watch for. How does she talk about the future now compared to before? If she used to be excited about planning trips, moving in together, or other long-term goals, and now she avoids those topics or gives non-committal answers, it might be a sign that she's reconsidering the relationship. This doesn't necessarily mean she's cheating, but it does mean that something has shifted in her feelings, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Let's also discuss physical affection. If she used to be very affectionate but now avoids even basic physical contact, like hugging or holding hands, it's worth asking yourself why. A sudden drop in physical intimacy can be a sign that she's emotionally checked out or that she's feeling guilty about something. Again, this doesn't always mean she's seeing someone else, but it does mean there's an issue that needs your attention. Another clue can be found in her social circles. Have her friends started acting differently around you? Maybe they seem a bit awkward, or you notice they're avoiding spending time with you as a couple. Friends often know what's going on before you do, and while they might not come out and say it, their behavior can give you hints. If they're suddenly distant or seem uncomfortable when you're around, it could be because they know something you don't. Then there's the classic sign, accusations. If she starts accusing you of things like being unfaithful or not trusting her out of nowhere, it could be a projection of her own guilt. This isn't always the case, but if it happens alongside some of the other signs we've talked about, it's definitely something to consider. And finally, trust your instincts. This is probably the most important piece of advice I can give you. You know your partner better than anyone else. If your gut is telling you something is wrong, don't ignore it. But remember, your instincts should be a starting point for a calm and respectful conversation, not an accusation or confrontation. So what should you do if you've noticed several of these signs? The first step is to take a step back and breathe. Don't act on impulse or let your emotions take over. It's important to approach the situation with a clear mind. If you confront her, do so from a place of concern, not anger. Say something like, "I've noticed that things feel different between us lately. I care about you and our relationship, and I want to make sure everything is okay. Is there something on your mind that you'd like to talk about?" This opens the door for an honest conversation without putting her on the defensive. And if she's not willing to talk, or if she continues to be evasive, then you need to consider what's best for you. It's not easy, but staying in a relationship where there's no trust or communication will only hurt you in the long run. Remember, this isn't just about finding out if she's cheating or not. It's about you becoming more aware, more confident, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Whether she's cheating or not, these signs are a wake-up call for you to assess where you stand in this relationship and what you need to feel secure and respected. So take what you've learned here and use it to make better decisions for yourself. Be the man who values himself enough to not ignore the signs, but also the man who can handle the truth with grace and strength. Thank you for watching, and remember, your growth and happiness are what truly matter. I sincerely hope that this message has been useful to you. I want to congratulate you greatly for having come this far and for having finished the video. That means that you want to improve as a person. If you liked the video, leave your comment. You don't know what to comment? Comment, "I dare," so I know you made it to the end. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and join us. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, warrior.